Thank you for being willing to coach one of our executive directors. You're incredibly important in this process because for the next 2 months, you're going to work for about 8 hours with an executive director to help them prepare for the presentation that they're going to make at the next Amplify meeting. You're there to cheer them on, encourage them, develop them, but the good news is you're not a team alone. There will be 2 to 3 coaches in this team endeavor to help that executive director develop their presentation. Their presentation is going to include things like looking at their leadership and their ministry, and the opportunity to ask open-ended questions is important. You'll be asking questions like, how does this work? What have you tried? When has it been done before? So that they can really be clearer about what's going on in their ministry and what they're going to need. Because one of the things you're doing is taking a look at how are they going to put together their strategic ask during the presentation the night of the meeting. So we want to give you a sense of what Amplify means by coach. So that's part of what I'm sharing. The coach, number one, shows up with a sense of grace and patience for the process. There's going to be no fixing. You and the other coaches are not called on to fix anything. What you're really called on to do is to help the executive director think more deeply and more clearly about what they need, how they need to receive it, and why it's so important. Listen, flesh out with them the what and how of what they've done and what they haven't tried yet. Be incredibly curious. One of the things the directors thrive by is your sense of curiosity. They also sometimes assume they have clarity and understanding when they may not. So part of what you're doing is listening for what is really clear to others. So because you're both an encourager and a cheerleader and a challenger a bit, it can get messy. So this is sort of the emotional and messy time in working with an executive director because they are deeply passionate about the work that they've been doing. And so the first part of the time that you meet, you're really learning about the ministry and what they're needing and what they've been trying. You're going to help the executive director identify a pressing need that they have that they can articulate in the strategic ask the night of the meeting. Those are the first 2 sessions. The third, fourth, and if you maybe have a 5th session, are really you and the other coaches listening to a draft presentation and noticing what can be fine-tuned and nuanced for the presentation for the night of the AMP session. So we also ask that after the presentation the following week, you join in on the AMP session. It's for an hour during a Zoom call, and you get to continue the conversations from there. If you find you really enjoy working with the executive director, you also have the opportunity to continue to meet with them and continue to encourage them. So again, you're showing up to create a safe space, to facilitate deeper thinking. You don't have to fix a thing. You're with a team, and you're really critical. So thank you for being willing to coach.